ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to speak in front of you, and it's my mission to say a few words about the platform, but also about its role. I'm not going to take too much of the time. We're running out of the time available. Mrs. Nella Pavloiu, who's been the driving force behind the platform, has pointed out what's been lying behind the thought of creating the platform. And we don't have much of a history in terms of time since the creation of the platform, but I believe that we have made a difference, at least in Romania. I don't know about le milieu de Bruxelles, but as far as Romania is concerned, I think the platform does make a difference. Europe is still in the doldrums of a terrible crisis. Most of the people have not expected Europe, the Union, to confront such a crisis. In spite of what's going on and crisis management and the endeavors to redesign the Eurozone and to create premises for economic growth, particularly in the countries which are undergoing very painful austerity measures. One has not to forget, one need not forget, that Europe has to think about its industry, about its agriculture. In my opinion, and I'm talking also not only as a former finance minister, but as a former MEP, I think that if industry is not resurrected in Europe, its manufacturing base, if agriculture will not be used as a plus in global competition, and let me say something about agriculture and market forces. There's much going on in terms of thinking about a new common agriculture policy. But the new common agriculture policy should not be based only on the logic of the market. And I'm saying it not only because this is my firm belief as an economist, and considering the lessons, the major lessons of this financial and economic crisis, but also because when it comes to food and the ability to feed people, both in rich and poor countries, market forces are not the only logic one has to consider. Having said that, let me just mention the names of the people who are going to say a few words in the first panel. And I'm glad that we have knowledgeable people who work for the Commission, and also people who work in the European Parliament, they are members of the European Parliament, but also people who represent national interests in the European Union. The first speaker is going to be Mr. And next time, then I'll sit down. I don't think I have to stand up for the whole of this panel. Is Mr. Antonis Constantinou, who's a director with the European Commission, the Directorate General for Agriculture and Rural Development. Next is Mr. Andrzej Babukovsky, Minister Chancellor. I think you're here, and we are very pleased to have our Polish friends here, because there is so much which connects Poland and Romania when it comes to agriculture and other countries, which have enormous potential in agriculture. Then we have a representative of the Romanian delegation, And we have, and I'm glad to see Mr. Boștinaru, who is a member of the European Parliament, Mr. Curaj, Adrian Curaj from Bucharest, and Mr. Tabăr, Valeriu Tabăr, who is a former Minister of Agriculture. And last but not least, we have a rep of the private sector, Mr. Timiș, Radu Timiș. So, Mr. Constantino, please.